Want mess, baby, just give me that cheese and bread. Everything blessed, man, I ain't vexed, man, I be getting that cheese and bread. But I tried flex, ran off with Zed, so I had to hit him with the cheese and bread. If you want but man for a set, tell him.
So I'll be that way, just stop. Nobody gonna take this spot. To be outside in a stainless watch. Not too long for my face gets clocked like.
That's Gemini from the beta squad.
So many man wanna see a man fail, but I swear that I won't Harry Kane that shot. No way, a shock, so I wave and watch. Car years major gal come stay and coach.
Gal for me on Call of Duty. Came round and put it in prone. After I soap and ghost, no loose ends, I hope she knows. Picasso, wickedest stroke. Years not other way, I'm moving dope. Prince of grime, ask about me, they know.
I make bread and cheese, no hill to my mountain, yes, that's peak. My flow, where we drown them, it's that deep. I'm never gonna let them in and let man breathe. Play with the squad, I press man's team. Calling all the shots like Pep, that's me. If they want, then they can, I let man sleep. Test man's G, watch how I rep man's dreams.
Cheese and bread. I've been taming the cats, been out here peppering dons. I'm a seasoned vet. Windy day, this paper to catch, and the gold is getting in guap. I don't need this rest. Sauce in the club and I leave a mess. Get me a Chloe or Keisha next. Been shit to my world, they see this flex. The electric gun out on the curb with a BMX skid mark deep in ends. No jump for a kickstart, brothers on the block, and I heard he's a chick dog. She is scared. Done lost to the lip balm, ain't got need for a shin guard, ain't had a breathe yet. And get back to my cheese and bread.
I don't want stress, I don't want mess, baby, just give me that cheese and bread. Everything's blessed, man, I ain't vexed, man, I be getting that cheese and bread. But I tried flex, ran off with Zed, so I had to hit him with the cheese and bread. If you want but man for a set, tell a man.
Nino, I said please stop talking. She gets likes and feels endorphins. I do my team, your team's awkward. Then all Rizzy, I get it in portions. Can't be me or Warren. I be in the front room by the morning. Got toast and a Captain Morgan's. Me and your mum just sat there talking. Nah, I'm kidding, I'm here for the bag. Desensitized for shit in the past. Gem shouted, man, like run this fast. I ran up on them with the bars in my pad. Shit never worked out, man, got jabbed. Fell to the floor, outfit trash. From that day, I never look back. Like TF one gang, get money, that's that. Like Riz.
Bread and cheese, sweet one spread with my pen on squeeze. Toes on shoulders, foot focus, orders left his head and knees. Got like rhythm, any type I'll spin him in and out of pockets like a den of thieves. Clap that, rap that energy. Chick still clap for that melody. Bread and cheese is what who's great, they're all shed in pieces. We don't lactose, the bread is heated. How dare he think he's any decent? No way. Can read him off a run, Something in my system got me on a litness, man, I still ton. Done.
Letting them know Brick came to make everything smoky. I'm only here for the cheddar and Hovis. That's big bills like a Pelican broski. Run in with the mask on and lock the place down. You think they're still wrestling COVID? Jem said he wanted Kane and he know what I'm sending is potent. Venom in motion, hold up. These MCs need help and practice. Working still without the help of blacksmiths. Human are destined to rat and I'm destined to be rats. If you spelled it backwards, I mean MCs wanna diss in their tune till I Tarzan swing to the roof. They think it is cool, I pull up it's instantly juice. That's Bishop and Q, I'll let you guess which one is.
I don't want stress, I don't want mess, baby, just give me that cheese and bread. Everything's blessed, man, I ain't vexed, man, I be getting that cheese and bread. But I tried flex, ran off with Zed, so I had to hit him with the cheese and bread. If you want but man for a set, tell a man pay me the cheese and bread. I don't want stress, I don't want mess, baby, just give me that cheese and bread. Everything's blessed, man, I ain't vexed, man, I be getting that cheese and bread. But I tried flex, ran off with Zed, so I had to hit him with the cheese and bread. And if you want but man for a set, tell a man pay me the cheese and bread.
Are we good now? Are we good now? Are we good now?
Let us know if you can hear us.
Are we good? Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying out a new streaming service. and it just looks totally different. Everything's a bit new. Thank you everyone in the comments. Salute 87 Melanin. Hey beauty, I'm glad you like that banger. Make dope music over here as well. Charlie Zoo, Wiretap, salute. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I need to if I seem a bit discombobulated, it's because we can't see us right now. There's this tiny little thumbnail showing us and I don't know how to get it back.
What about the square one? Because you got the split.
No, it's not this.
Oh,
it's not this. It's I've got to change the
do with
scene.
the whole-
But how is everybody doing? Okay,
So
this
fuck it,
is
I'll-
not the way.
I'll make it bigger.
How's everyone doing, man? We've got some crazy battle rap coming up. As you saw on the picture is more crisp today. Okay, that's dope. Hey, Sean Cray. Yeah, that was Gemini Cheese and Bread remix. So he had on there Celeste, Tops,
Brothers and Kane.
Yizzy
was on
yeah.
there. I forget the other brother, but there's like 2 other brothers on there. Fire. Like everyone bring their best. How do you choose? You know what I mean? How do you choose?
Yeah, no, it's that is a dope one. Gemini, we will be talking about him on this upcoming card, and we also had today crazy battle from Premier Battles drop today. Yunan versus Bizzo. Absolutely
Wow.
crazy one.
Wow.
And
Another UK classic.
yeah, for real.
Bizzo's stacking up the classics now.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He doesn't miss. He's missed. This is why he was Battler of the Year.
Has he been Battle of the Year 2 years running?
Yes. Yeah.
The 2-time Battle of the Year.
2-time Battler of the Year. He's Premier Battles champion. Yeah, he's doing bits. His biz.
He's probably the most decorated battler we've ever had at this point. Because he's battled the Saurus and these type of names. That in itself is like having
real deal.
These are people that in battle rap, like for me, they're part of the real family. You understand? So you've been in a situation where you battled the top caliber of the game, on top of being the best in your country. Everything adds up. It all adds up. You understand? But salute to Biz. That's the champ right there.
Yeah, absolute consummate champ.
Definitely.
The rest, yeah, absolute consummate champ, and him and Yunan was a real war. I had a little check to see how the comment section had it, because when I watched it, fire battle. Neither guy made it easy. I gave it to Yunan. For me, Yunan, he gave an edge more than Bizzo. Yunan has that intensity. He has that performance. There's just something extra that I didn't get from Bizzo. In his second round was phenomenal. Like, he left earth. I think, it was a close battle, but when I looked in the comment section, everyone, it was a judge battle.
Yeah.
It was obviously, what's it, Sharks versus Mandrill Mob. Sharks versus Mandrill Mob. Match day 1, Premier Battles season. And yeah, it's a judged battle. Now, when I heard the judge's decision, after seeing the battle, that it went to Bizzo, I felt sure that it must have been because of the time limits.
Yeah. That was, for me, I heard Yunan's material, you know what I'm saying? And I kept up on the courts. I wasn't in the building. But I know Yunan's energy, I know Bizzo's energy. So in my eyes, what I was seeing, I thought, yeah, it's clear. It's clear that I felt like the things that Yunan was getting quoted was of a certain caliber. Things that Bizzo was being quoted was of a different caliber. Then I spoke to Trabs, and Trabs was telling me, bro, if it's going to be judged, time has to be a factor. So if a guy goes over time, that has to be considered. You know what I'm saying? So in that respect, that's why the judges have gone in that direction. You know what I mean? But a lot of people think even though the time or whatever, a lot of people feel like even though what he got off was still better, even though. But it's down to the judges on the day, I suppose. So
yeah, it is.
that's it. That's the Prem thing. Like every single event, there'll be a battle where people feel could have gone the other way because this is the caliber of battlers that we have now. You know, it's not like it's lopsided. There's a lot of talented people. You know what I mean? It's hard for anyone to beat Black T. It's hard for anyone to beat Moke. For people that they've had to be amazing to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying like the caliber of a match is different now. So it's hard for judges. It's going to become a problem. I feel like someone is going to need to fall back from battle rap and fall into the judge role and say, this is me. I don't do anything else. All I do is judge battles.
I don't know if we're there yet. I mean, although to be fair, with Premier Battles having so many judged battles, it might be the case. I do think it's something that
you've got to have a referee in a football game.
Yeah, but to have like it's not easy to come up with a roster of judges that are available to be in the building on each match day that also aren't on competing teams or have too close affiliations with anyone on like it's
I think you could start training some judges from now. Maybe you might not be able to implement it this season, but I think from now you can kind of earmark who are potential judges or who could be judges going forward in the next season, and you can kind of figure out a way to have them separate from everything. Maybe they shouldn't be a battler. Maybe they should be an artist, or maybe they should have battle experience.
Yeah, but you have to think as well with so many. How many match days are there? Is it?
I'm sure like 5.
Actually, it's not that many.
It's got to be 4. It's got to be 4 or 5. Because, yeah. But then we've got the other division as well, so I'm sure, you know, how they...
Yeah.
I think what Prem have realised now is...
Wiretap still in the chat. How many match days are there, Chubb? Salute Nathan Bailey. Sean Cray says Monroe is on that Cheese and Bread remix trap. That's my boy from up the road. Sick Grime Spitter. Salute to your boy, Sean Cray. Tony D has battled mad internationals and a few title defences. I think Tony D is the most defended, the champ who has defended his title most times, or was at least at the time. 5 match days, I think, says Trub. Salute Nux. People them. Yeah, so 5 match days, I guess it would be the same on Division. Is that including Division 2?
But this is what I was about to say, like, how Prem understand it now is like, me and you are on opposing teams. We can battle. That point can still be added to whenever the other point is. So if we have to get our match off on another match day, we're going to do that. So I think with that, we could potentially see more than 5 match days. We might see some extension shit going on. Got to finish this up because you know, like in the Premier League, a match might just get postponed and moved to another thing or whatever in it. I'm saying so a team could be waiting. They could be 1-1, waiting 2 months for a match to get done to find out whose team won and gets the point for that one there in it. But if the season's still ongoing, it doesn't matter because it's just gonna go in the league. It doesn't have to be all formulated at the same time. Yeah, it could be a midweek game.
Division 2 has the same match days but less matchups. Okay. Yeah, I think it's something going forward. But I mean, judging, like you said, is always going to be contentious.
Yeah.
When you've got great battlers, when you've got a great pool, you know, you're always going to have. If you've got debatable battles, you're going to have people unhappy with judges' decisions. There are 5 match day events, but Division 1 battlers are on non-match day events too. Yeah, so that makes it even more kind of difficult to have a steady roster of judges. But I think, yeah, if judges are properly kind of briefed, because, yeah, when I saw that and I recalled that time you're penalised for time.
Yeah.
I thought there's no way that Yunnan can win. There's no way that he can win this. He went so over time. We're talking like 3 minutes, 4 minutes or something in total over time on a judged battle. Like one of the rounds, it's like almost 2 minutes or something that he's over. There's reaction in that as well, but it's a long time in the red. I really like what Prem have done. So once your time is up, they don't cut you off, but you go literally into the red. So anytime you're in that red section, you're over time.
Yeah.
And
you
you
have to consider that.
Yeah. Now, had the decision gone the other way, like had they given it to Yunnan, I think that would be a big controversy.
Yeah. But I think you're definitely right, because that was the problem with Rivers and Yunnan. Rivers and Yunnan went over time. And it became, oh my days, Rivers got robbed. Yunnan felt like he lost. I felt like I won, but the judges gave it to Yunnan. So I think from then, and Trouble was the one that actually said this to me. So from then, they have to enforce the law. They have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, there can't be no other way. They have to enforce the law.
And maybe it was something that the judges factored into their decision, but they didn't. None of them said it in their judging, which makes me think it wasn't a factor.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I had Yunnan, but I couldn't give it to him because of time limits. He was penalised too much. He went
that
way over.
Been a statement if
that you would think, right? You would think. So I think that is something important, because in a battle like that, if I'm the losing person and I've been told I've written 2.5 minutes because I know I'm going to be penalised for going over time, but my op is not penalised for going over time, I've got a problem.
But
like,
this is the exception to rule for me personally. I feel like if my opponent is absolutely wigging against me, I can't even put the time into a factor. I have to look at the time, like, even calling it out is like me using it as safety.
I don't care. It's a competition. I don't care.
No.
I don't care. There are rules. Like,
nah, I don't think any battler would jump out and be like, oh, he's going too long. I don't think nobody would care.
No, but like, there's literally a light telling us. It's not like you're standing there calling time. There's a light telling us, and there's a rule book that tells us you go over time, you're penalised for it. You've got to have points deducted, right? Or it's got to count. It's got to discount for something. We've got to take away. You can't, or you can't get credit for that material. That's kind of difficult to do as a judge, to say, don't credit anything anything in the red, you switch off and you're not. That's difficult to do, but it's easy to say, deduct points. So it's not for the battler.
I think it would be better if you call time, because you got to think of this, hear me out. The crowd are a big factor in the battle. Now, it's almost, think about it like this, and this isn't even no slate on anybody that goes over time, but then it's almost like the crowd can still enjoy you in the red. They can still enjoy it, and how much they enjoy you in the red can influence how they perceive your opponent's next round, innit? So I imagine you have a crazy ass bar in the red that strips your opponent of everything, and then they start in their round. Like, we can say it doesn't matter, but it kind of does. Because now if he has a bad round, and whatever you did before you got to the red is better than his, it was still the shit outside of it was still shit from in the red that got it to that point, if you get what I'm trying to say.
That happens whether you've got that extended time period or not. Like, whether you cut it off or not, it doesn't take that factor out. You've always got, the round is always going to end somewhere, and you've always got to start your round somewhere.
No, but what I'm saying is, imagine if my biggest moment that has most impact, imagine like, white boys are loved to death in the red. And Mackenzie goes next. People ain't going to be like...
Yeah, no, I get it. People aren't going to discount that, but when...
It still has an effect.
But it's totally going to have an effect.
Yeah.
But you're still in the... Like, you're visibly in the red. So it's still going to have an effect on your opponent and how he then can start his next round, how effective he is. But that will happen anywhere. Like, if you know you're going to be cut off. You're not going to put that at 3.5 minutes. You're going to put it at 2.5 minutes. But
You don't even
I
know
think
how-
it just adds a kind of extra layer of difficulty in a way if penalization is enforced. Like there's got to be a point of having, the time limits have got to be effective, and they've got to be equally applied. Otherwise,
I think
what's the point? You should just call time.
I think that's it. I think without calling time, whatever happens if you leave it to run affects the battle anyway. So it's like we could say, oh yeah, boom, 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 but it's still gonna affect the battle. Like,
Even if it affects the battle, but let's say as a judge, I know my man goes over time, I deduct 1 point. Like, or you've got to have a kind of maximum, you've got to have some sort of point system, unless you're just gonna say
strikes, that's a strike.
But then how do you deduct? Like, so, all right, if I'm like, is it the same if he goes 15 seconds over time as if he goes a minute over time? Like, is he penalized the same?
I was just thinking that. I was thinking, right, imagine I say he's gone over for a minute, I'm giving him a strike. Oh, that's 2 minutes, another strike. That's 3 minutes, another strike, yeah. But then what's to say in what he did before the red, he never built up 27 banks, 27 points. And I've struck him 3 times, he's gone down to 24, but his opponent only hit 10.
Yeah.
Inside of the time. To me, he still wins.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You've got to have some sort of point system to be, for it to, I can't just say, you deduct or 1 strike or point or whatever. What am I deducting from? What does that mean? Like, how many? Like, you've got to have. Otherwise, I think it's a little too subjective, and then in that case, just call time.
Yeah, literally.
Just call time. It's going to be.
It's awkward still because in the original season, not even to harp on too much about the judging thing because we've got a lot to get through. But in the original season, they actually did have like a sheet with what they was kind of looking for. And what happened is the sheet was it was like there's so much different things, and you've got to grade them on each thing per round, each of them. And there's a whole bunch of brackets. It became impossible. Because you can't watch a battle, enjoy a battle, take it in, and do this.
It's
thing
really
at the same
difficult
time.
to do that.
It's hard to do it. You have to analyze it on a watch back or some shit like this. That's the only way.
Well, you have I can see you have kind of a few broad categories. Like, say, things are grouped in, like, so you're literally like, were they clean? What else could you have? Like, material, and so maybe like just 2 or a third maybe, but like each of those there's a maximum of like 10 points or something. So you grade, if you've had a flawless performance, intensity in your delivery, you were dynamic, you were, you creative, in the way that you delivered your material, you get, 9-10 points, but you went 2 minutes or, a minute over time. So we've got to take off a point for going over time, and then, you went a minute over time, so that's an extra 2 points. Now your 9 goes down to 6. Type thing, or not even 6 because you've got the other category and something, I don't know, a basic sort of point system. Otherwise I don't see how it's like, okay, so if he goes over, does that mean he loses the round? I'm penalizing, does he lose the round for that? If I was a judge, I'd want to be kind of clear
something
what
that is like, bam, that's what it is when in terms of time.
Otherwise it's just like, I'm going to judge it differently. I'm going to judge, you're allowing me to decide what sort of penalty he gets for time. That means you also decide, and then he also decides. So none of us are
in tandem.
we're not applying the penalty in the same way, because we're all allowed to apply it as, oh, there is a time penalty, but we don't know
exactly
what that is.
Yeah, it's a conundrum still. Good luck with that.
Sean Cray says, not saying it was an executive decision for PB to give it to Bizzo. It was independent judges. That's it, absolutely. As an outfit, it's important that they set a precedent early on. I agree. But we need consistency now. You can't see people not penalised in the future. I think with this one, the fact that the person who went overtime didn't win makes it less controversial. The thing, when I saw the judge's decision, the thing that meant, not to kind of incite controversy, but the thing that made it a bit ooh for me was that they didn't. They didn't mention time.
Didn't mention that. So
and that was the thing that I was thinking, that must have been
that has
why. That must have, like, Yunnan can't win. He went so overtime. Bizzo was so good. It's that close. He can't win. But yeah, they could tell, but we need consistency now. You can't see people not penalised in the future. They could tell the judges to walk out when it hits red, or blackout headphones on, like Family Fortunes. Yeah, it's really difficult to not take that in and absorb that impact and say, discount that as a judge. Like, you can't Will Smith, memory stick, Men in Black you, like, it's too big a task to ask the judges to separate. Why is this thing lagging? I'm supposed to have super fast Wi-Fi right now. What is going on? There should be no lag. It should be, crispy. It shouldn't even be doing that. I don't know what's going on.
Right,
I don't
feel
know
like
this.
Neo.
Yeah.
The Matrix and shit.
I don't know why, but it's lagging as well. Shit. Yeah, it's very difficult to say, take that impact out of your decision. But yeah, points or some sort of system. Just win without going into the red light worked for me. Salute gas buff. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, right? If you don't go into the red light and your opponent does, you want to be able to win in that material. But if I'm giving you,
it counts to you now that you didn't go in the red light.
If I'm giving you an extra 2 minutes of material, like, that's a third almost of a round, like, or of your whole material, like 1/3 extra, like, you get to say a lot more. So it's hard for me to compete. If we're both good, it's hard for me to compete when you've got so much more, whereas I did what I had to do in the time that was given for me. That's got to count for something. Otherwise, time limits wouldn't be a fact. Like, it's a competition. Like, there are rules.
I think having the red thing, like, I'm a person that can finesse that. So I can get all of my main material off and then do some type of impression in the red zone. Some bullshit that don't count, but the crowd are gonna like it and it's funny and they go along with it. And maybe it takes energy away from the opponent. It could be an impression of them, of how their style is ahead of their style in the next round, and it impacts it. But it's not gonna be anything I get penalized for, because it's not anything of impact. Plus, I've already done the shit I'm supposed to do. I can even say, this is where I would stop. But since we got the red light, I'm gonna.
No, but the theory is, if the red light works as it's supposed to, anything you do in that red zone, it better be worth it, because you're taking away. It better hit twice as hard as everything else, because it's going to take away from what you've done.
It doesn't count anyway.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
Whatever.
But what I'm saying, if it's further than that, not only, like, because it's hard to say don't make it count to a judge. It's hard to say, like, discount everything there. But what I'm saying is, if it's further than, not only does it not count, you're taking away.
I mean,
then
if I can pattern something that takes away anything from my opponent.
No, but what I'm saying, all right, say you've had your round, you've done everything you needed to do, you got a 10-point round, and then you go and do your impressions or whatever, you get some momentum, now you've got an 8-point round.
Okay. But if I'm second and they've just had a 4-point round or a 5-point round, and I've got an 8 or I've got a 10, and I can afford to do this, why not?
Well, yeah,
because they're not going to cut me off, and I've already won.
If you can,
Yeah.
but then that's a lot of kind of assumption. If your opponent's bad, like if you're, because you know it's all subjective. I'm sure there are times where you think I am killing him, and you come out and people say, "Oh, that was close," and you're like, "What do you mean it was bad?" Or you're watching a battle that is not close, and people are like, you know.
I think this isn't something that I'm gonna get a top opponent and do it to. This isn't that type of match. This is one of them. You got matched up with this guy based on it being a match day, based on you've already faced the other guy on the other team. Like I'm not gonna take no risks or gamble in a battle with somebody that's off caliber. We're not gonna do that. Understand? But I'm just saying, if I have an opportunity where I'm against someone, remember I said they're gonna get like a 5-point round. That means that they can't even reach man's level anyway. You know what I mean? And you know I will battle a rookie. I'm not like these other guys. I'll take one of these guys into the garden and roll the sleeves up real quick with one of these little, you know what I'm saying? So I'll probably try against them, not nobody of no ability. That would be dangerous.
Yeah, it's an unnecessary risk.
But
that's what I'm saying. It should add an extra layer of difficulty. Like you've really got to condense, like the time limit counts. And no one wants to be cut off. Like, especially like, say, you know, you've got 2 bars left. You've got a nice, like, you don't, like, that's your big end of the round haymaker, leave on a high note.
It goes into the reds.
But you're called time on, you don't get to get it off. Yeah. Like, if it's just literally you just got a little bit to finish, you know you're not going to be heavily penalised.
I think
so
in the Anarchy tournament, it was calling time, if I remember rightly. I feel like I got called time on. And exactly what you're saying. One more haymaker left that would have just rounded off the scheme. Time. It's like, this didn't even... The bar was all something to do with the King of the Dot stream and the name of the event. I can't remember, but it was mass or something. Like to do with mass. I've got mass, spaces and all this. Cut me off right before the thing, innit? So I get exactly what you're saying. If you don't time it right, but then you time it right, the crowd react to something. And now your time's kind of like, it's gone like this a bit. So it's a bit mad. They don't stop the clock for small reactions. They stop it when they go crazy. But if there's something that makes you have to stop and start again, they don't really stop it for that. They'll just carry on the clock. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Wiretap says, battlers just need to be aware, because if I only spend a certain amount of time on an angle, certain amount of time on an angle because of the time limit and stick to it, then my op has to do the same. Yeah, that's a fact as well, because not only do you have less material, but the material that you do have, you've had to write specifically for the amount of time you've had. Yeah, and as an angler, there's certain things that you can't develop, you can't set up the way you want, so you've sacrificed. Whereas if your opponent hasn't done that and then doesn't get penalized, it's hard on you, right? It's never easy to judge a close battle on first watch. It really isn't. Being effective within short rounds is a skill that many lack. That's very true.
Yeah, it's hard.
Salute, J Soldier. It's never easy to get this 1000% right as well as effectively run an event, but it's only the first match day as well. This is it, and things will
they learn, man. They learn.
I think that's it. It's not lagging for us. It looks good. Okay, that's great, Sean Cray. And I've just remembered as well, I was sitting here reading that this is a low resolution preview. So, and I've literally got it on my phone here, so I could have looked at that. Although my phone looks awful. Is this 360 or something? This is higher picture. What is going on? Higher picture quality, and it's saying 144p. That is not higher picture quality.
You need a new phone.
No, let me start that again. You don't know if you already won by then while you're prepping. I don't know. Sorry, I should have read that in real time. I think Withers is overthinking it, says Sean Crow. What he's saying is making sense, but it's asking a lot of a judge. The judge will just see that you hit red and start dropping points off what you said in your round. Yeah, so it detracts from the material that you've already spit.
Hey, listen, Sean, I got here by overthinking it. That's never going to change. But I hear where you're coming from, though. Because at the end of the day, as a judge, you know, you're not here to take into consideration this and take into consideration. There's got to be a line, and if you're on that side of the line, it's this result. If you're on this side of the line, it's that result. That's how it has to be as a judge, isn't it?
Yeah,
Especially when it comes to the time thing.
I think judging is so subjective anyway. It's such a subjective thing. Who did you like better and why? That it's good when there are some rules, like if we've all got some parameters that we have to follow. Like I think I
think when battle rap becomes like that, it gets like samey. Everyone's got the same style, everyone's punches the same, everyone does everything the same, because it becomes like Hadouken, oh you can. It's like everybody can, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this is how it's done. Yeah, like if this is how it's done, this is how I'm gonna do it. But then if like we don't get bars like birds see me, they're like, oh, all right. Birds see you, they're like, oh, are you all right? We don't get them bars, Sean Cray, unless there aren't no kind of formulaic ways of getting points in this. Do you understand? Like, it's got to be creative. So this is why the judgment thing becomes a bit hard, because now how do I tell you that I prefer you more than him when he's done something more creative than you in someone else's eyes? It just gets long, innit? So, like I said, good luck with the judges. I feel like this whoever becomes a judge, he needs to sit down. It's impossible what he has to do, but this is what he has to do. He's to sit down, watch everybody, understand everybody at their high peaks, everybody at their low peaks, gauge what they are at their average. You understand? And know what you're looking for them at their best, for starters. Each person that's going to battle. Maybe you do that research before you go into the battle, but how would you be able to do all of this? It's just too much work. But if somebody could do that and really check out whoever they was judging from their best moments to their worst moments to their average moments and kind of gauge what their levels are. So if you see them do something amazing, you know, right, this is them, they're leaving Earth right now. Like you kind of have context of how good they are. If someone could do that, that would be a good start for each opponent, because then you're not grading them by their own kind of levels, if you get what I'm trying to say. And then after that, we're gonna see the result of the battle. After that, we'll take into consideration how your shit worked against him. You know what I'm saying? But for starters, we're gonna understand that you're better today than you was last week against whoever. But it's a lot of work. Who's gonna do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you should be judged in like this battle is what should be taken into consideration.
Yeah.
Gas Buff says, I think there's a difference between someone going over time due to not timing their material properly, or someone who clearly never intended on sticking to the limit. You kind of have to mark Yunnan down. Yeah, this is it. Like, because it was so excessive. Like, it was so much over the time limit. Like he didn't. There's no way he wrote. What was the time limit? 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. There was no way he wrote.
I think Yunnan went there to get his shit off. I think he didn't really care. But this is what it feels like. I can't say this way. He never said this to me, but I feel like he went there thinking, I just need to go there, and because you've got to think of it, he was meant to battle Bizzo before, but it wasn't under these kind of restrictions or whatever in it. So
yeah, it was for the title. Yeah,
it was for the title. So I think he wanted to go and give a title-winning performance, regardless of everything. That was what his thing was. I want to show you guys that if this was that match, that game, that final, that title match, I would have won. I think that's what he was trying to prove. Regardless of the result, he was trying to say, I would have came and I would have given you all of this.
So, but in doing that, it's like you're almost throwing the battle, in my opinion. Like, well,
I mean, of course,
in terms if you're penalised for going over time, like when you. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
if you-
like you can't accidentally go 90 seconds over. That's a fact. Salute
No,
dub.
his bars was written for whatever time limit he
Yeah,
felt like he
yeah.
had. You weren't writing it for 90 seconds or 2 minutes at all. I don't think I've ever heard Yunnan rap for 2 minutes.
But like then when you're in, that means that you're constantly in you should then be penalized throughout that. Like if you can't condense your shit, it should count against you, because when other people are, like you're saying, you can construct, like you can condense your material. That's a skill.
Yeah.
If your opponent does not have that skill and does not bring that to the battle,
It's strategy.
they should be penalized for it.
This is like in football, there might be like away goals and aggregates and all these type of things in certain matches, but in other matches there ain't. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is just how the rules of this format is. You understand? Time is important.
Griggs gives you 10 seconds leeway too. Personally, I still had Yunnan 2-1 because that second round was bonkers, but I'd still feel obliged to give Bidzo extra credit for being so concise with his material. The thing is, like, you're saying Yunnan, because that second round was bonkers, wasn't that his longest round as well, where he was like 90 seconds or even closer, or even more? I think it was about 1:40 or so, almost 2 minutes over time. So if that's his, if you're saying that second round, surely that's the one that should be really penalised. Salute Joey 9. I've judged title matches in the past, and when it's close, you're almost hoping this is it for chokes or stumbles to make your mind up. I could see myself jumping all over someone back, rapping in the red. It's easy. This is it. When it's close, you need something.
Yeah, we're looking
like,
for
give
how
us
can we strike
something
against
to
you? That's what I'm saying.
distinguish.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't become about your skill no more. It
no,
becomes about
but,
your
no.
faults.
But it's like when you two are so good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Your skill,
Yeah,
I've got that covered.
that's it.
It's not about this no more. We can't judge.
We need to split hairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who's dressed worse?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's an example, but you get what I'm saying? We need to
Salute Dub T.
Anyway.
I just don't see how it's fair to completely disregard Yunnan's bars after the red light went on. There's too many variables to judge it like that. Who performed, wrote, and showed out better? Unanimous. I completely disagree, my darling. It's absolutely fair to completely, and like, not disregard it, but penalize him for it. Like, there are rules. There's
it takes away from nothing that he got off, but personally, if it was the other way round, and Bizzo, for me personally, had gone over time for a good 2 minutes, and that, I would be out here saying, Robert Bizzo rapping for 10 hours, bro. What the fuck? I would stand up and say it.
I think it's like there's a competition and there's rules. It's like if we enter a competition to, write a 500-word essay to be published in the Times or something, I write my 500 words, but the winner wrote 750 words. It's like, hold on, how the fuck can he win? Because the rules are, we're supposed to write. If I had 750 words, do you know how much more I could have said? Like, also, I stuck to the rules.
Also, your 500 words was fire. Like, we're not just going to act like you wrote any random 500 words. It was fire. It was good.
Yeah, I didn't even know the option. Like, of course I could have written more.
What?
Of course I could have written more.
I've got throwaways at home.
I spent 2 weeks taking out that
another round.
I spent 2 weeks taking out that last 250 words. Yeah. Because I knew I could only get in with 500 words. Like, you can't.
All right, you killed the analogy. You there's no coming back from it. Jen wins. Jen wins. No, but it's for real. It's for real. I remember Yunnan is squad. So,
and the thing is, it's like,
I was one of the first people to jump up and say, "Nah, man, material." I never considered the time when I was saying that, because I wasn't there.
As soon as I considered the time and how I saw how much, and because they make it so visual. He is literally in the red. It's like, oh yeah, no, this is what it is. So I didn't see a way that he could win. That's how obvious it seemed to me. And the thing is, it's like, I have to apply these things the way I see them, whether, like, you have to apply these things down the line. You can't.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Sorry to cut you. It reminds me of like VAR. Man's of like offside rule.
Mm.
So, oh, it's gonna go. Sorry, no, it was offside.
Yeah.
He went just a bit too early or just a bit too late or whatever the fuck it is, isn't it? But it's a similar concept in terms of it makes what you did impotent. It's like, yo, yeah, he's got. Oh no, he didn't.
Gas agreeing with you. He's saying Yunan showed me one of his rounds before the battle. I did warn him the time limits might cost him, but all he said was they won't cut me off. Love my ass off. Man just wanted to put a show on.
That's it. And I think really he martyred himself to do that.
Wiretaps agreeing. Yeah, Yunan wanted to make a statement and he definitely did that.
Yeah.
Salute Wax. Battle Rap Wax says battle was worth the wait. Can't lie.
Lost the battle, but still won the battle in a lot of people's eyes. So he kind of did what he would want to do. But in all fairness, now we ain't talking about you battled the Bizzo that bring the same amount of material as you now.
This is it.
As we're judging Yunan on the performance he put on. We're not judging him on like killing Bizzo or winning or things like that. A lot of people feel like he won. That's fine. It's up to them. It's opinionated sport, whatever, innit? A lot of people feel like he lost. That's fine. But I'm just saying, we're judging him on this is some of the best Yunan we've seen in a minute. Do you understand? And he's had good performances recently. You can go and watch Crash. You can go watch Whispers. You know what I mean? So I think that's what he wanted to do, and he did that. He wanted to put on and show that I still, listen, not only have I still got it, but I've evolved and it's elevated now. Watch this.
So he sort of threw the decision. Or just,
and fiber. What?
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston. Science classes.
Salute Battle Rap Wax. Battle's worth the wait, can't lie. Yunan's Wiretap says Yunan went over the time every round. Yeah, significantly over as well. Dub says, I think you can make the argument that Yunan's content within the time limit was better than Bizzo's. Bizzo did not have the best showing, angle, and writing wise. I thought Bizzo was great. The thing is, right, Dub, if you, let's say you make that argument, and let's say Yunan gave 10 and Bizzo gave 9 or 8, but then okay, you're saying within the time limit. But that's not what happened, though. That's not the battle we had.
His best material was in the red.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that that's not the battle that we got. And the thing is, it's like, we're not, when you're supposed to be penalized for going over time, if you and your opponent are close on what you did get in the time limit, you're going to be penalized. That material is not going to count as much because you're going to get points deducted for going over. So if you have a 10 round within the time limit, then you're going to have that's going to go down because of everything that you did outside the time limit. It takes away. Like, it's got to
wow, so
the time limit it's got to mean something.
I feel like Prem wanted to mean nothing that happens in this time counts. But I think it should mean if you go into this time, it discounts. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you go into this, you might have had a crazy round. If you go into this time. You know what I mean? But I think if that's the case, just call time on us, bro. Just call time on us. Like, none of us has kind of got an internal clock. We can time our lyrics all we want. The cadence might change on a day. There might be crowd interaction. Anything could happen. So if in that case, it should be like a signal to show, bro, we're about to call time on you, and you just finish that bar, bam, time. I feel like that's the fairest way. You know what I'm saying? Because I think cutting us off without a signal makes us end sloppily.
No, but it's literally like it's up to you.
No, but think about it.
No, but it's up to you. Like, you're in the red.
No, I'm saying, say it's 3-minute round. But let's not say 3 minutes. Let's say 2:30.
Yeah.
And it's 2:27. And you know you're gonna call time, and you put your hand up. I get that signal to know, rah, I need to finish this bar now.
Yeah.
And I finish that bar, and then you just time it. Fair enough, innit? I think that can make a man end his round cleaner than if he's in the middle. Time. Oh,
than a hard cut off.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. It.
Well, it gives you a bit of grace.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
hand up from 220 and let me know that it's
Mm.
coming, then I can pattern it up by 230.
Well, the thing is, it's like the red light gives you, it puts the onus on the battler. Red light goes on. I don't know if the 10-second grace is within the red light period, but that's the hand up. If you don't stop, then that's on you. But everything you say from here on out is taken
Points.
down and used against you in a court of judges. Like everything you say from like it literally has to be valuable. If you're not going to get it in that, if it's not you finishing off like, you know, just getting to the punch quickly, then it better be better than everything you said already, because it's going to take away.
Do you think that there is a moment or a time where you could do something in the red which could be valuable to you?
I think if you're finishing off, and especially if there is a 10-second grace period in the red, like I think like there's the point of there's time limits are there for a reason, to see who can do best in the time limit. And if you go over that time limit a little bit, I think you can be given grace. But like, so if you've clearly written for 230, but like there was a bit that you, like you kind of, yeah, that's it, because you brought a little bit back because you had so much momentum. You wanted the crowd to, you know, so it's, you know, you were showing off a bit, like, so you just ran over a little bit, like, it's not,
fair enough.
Yeah, then, but if you haven't, if you've written 3.5 minutes, 3 minutes, then that should, that like, why couldn't you write 2.5?
I'm not gonna lie, I'll be honest with you.
Because not everyone can, like you said.
It's very hard to write 2.5 minute rounds, because the deeper we get into this battle rap thing, the better we get.
And
the more we want to go in depth with what we're saying, innit? So what we would cheaply throw away at one line, it's like learning to go back to that a little bit in shorter rounds, innit?
And that's a skill. And it's like when you do have a top crop of battlers, it's like, how do you distinguish? How do we get to the best? Like, how do we split hairs? Okay, you've all got to do it in the same amount of time. That's the one, like, everyone does everything differently, but the one variable that's going to be consistent is the time. You've all got to do it in. And not everyone can battle in tournaments. Like, not everyone can battle to a time limit. Like, but if you can, that's got to, like Wisesap says, getting to the punch quicker and being effective in short rounds is a skill. If I've worked on, but regardless of your style, and like depending on your style, if you're a puncher, if you're a straight puncher, then it's easy for you, or it's easier for you.
Let's say like someone like a Slestar. Slestar makes use of long pauses, comedic effect, all this. You give him a short round, he's like, it almost kind of takes away his creativity to a certain extent in it. Maybe he has to be creative in a different way in this.
Yeah, definitely.
But his style, as we know, he's a man where he. Like, one thing I like about Slestar is that it's almost like there is no time whenever I've seen him battle. He's not worried about that. He's doing his thing. He'll even stop, talk to you for a sec, come back, very comfortable. No restraints, I got to get through it. He just does his thing at his speed, innit? So. But
now you've got this extra.
You got to come in there and change your
opponent.
Yeah.
You've got time to battle as well. So like that's why not everyone will enter tournament. Not everyone will do, tight time limits, shorter battles, because not everybody can. But like, there's got to be something. Dub says people gave Shotty shit for calling Tony Toe. I think you can give Bizzo shit for calling Yunnan T. I don't feel like this Bizzo shows the same level of intricate writing as he has previously. The TV stuff was a bit reachy for me as well.
I didn't like the TV stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but like,
it's only because it's been done.
I feel like if that battle was given to you, if the judges did vote Yunnan, then Prem would have a big problem on their hands.
Why?
I think it would be a really controversial decision because of the time.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think it's kind of been a bit fortunate for them.
If this was any other setting of battle, then it is what it is, isn't it? But in the setting where we're trying to set a precedent. We already, like, they have experience of these type of things happening, the result going the wrong way and all this. They have experience of it, so they can't, to keep credibility, it has to go that way. Now, obviously, the judges never even factored that.
And well, I gave them some, and I'm saying they didn't say anything in their judging, which makes me think they didn't factor in, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe they did, they just didn't say it in the judging.
Maybe to them
right?
that was a given, so it didn't need mentioning.
Who knows?
We saw that he was in the red, so we don't need to mention that. Maybe it was that.
If you go over the time limit by 10 seconds, it might not make that much difference. I think the idea from Prem was that they don't want to cut you off. So when it goes red, you should finish your bar or scheme and then you're all good. You shouldn't be starting anything else in red. Yeah, this is what we were saying, right? It's about how long you go over the limit, and the viewers online still get entertained by your 5-minute round, but you just got penalised for this battle. That's it. The red gets hit after the 10 seconds grace, I believe. Okay. I think the overarching thing is that Yunnan versus Bizzo is too big a battle to do within a time limit. I get it for the league format, but I feel it could have the potential to spoil battles.
To what?
To spoil battles.
What, the time limit thing?
Yeah, I mean, at 2.5 minutes, I don't think so.
All right, put it like this. I'll say this. I think most people would agree that there will be battles that you'd probably prefer to see the guys have more time and be able to flex their muscles differently in it. So I think that may be what, I can't speak on behalf of the kid, but I think that may be where it's coming from, because I get that. But as Jen said, sometimes you go to a fist fight, sometimes someone throws you a bat and you got to use that. Sometimes you got a sword, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just, however the fight is, you just got, oh, we got pads. Oh, we're in a small little confined phone box, and whoever gets out is the one that lives. All right, cool. Like, we just got to go with it as battlers, innit? Can't really complain too much. Plus, there's other leagues and other battles that will pop up.
Yeah,
and
it is a skill being able to condense.
Yeah.
Gas is saying Division 2 is only 90 seconds, so we're allowed no filler, but it's improving my ability to punch immensely because I have to trim the fat on everything. Yeah, this is it. Trimming that fat. Everything has got to be effective.
Yeah.
Everything. And when you've got someone like that saying, I am studying it, like I'm developing my skills, I'm reworking my shit to fit that time limit, I'm fuming if I've done all of that and yet you've given it to my opponent when he's done, you know, a significant amount more. He didn't do all of that. You gave him all that extra time and let him, you know, they both agree to do it on the format. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Once, and I think it's like what you and Wiretap are saying. Like you now went in there to do like to get his shit off, to say what he had to say. And yeah, I mean, it was great for us, the viewers. You know, it was a great battle, both of them. I think it was a great performance from Bizzo, man. For me, it was really close. It was a close battle. I did give the edge to Yunnan, but I think it, you know, those guys fought, man. Those guys fought, and I'm interested to see how they do throughout the rest of the season. Speaking from the perspective as a fan, the battle would have been immensely better without the time limit. So whilst it's a skill to write within a time limit, it doesn't add anything to the battle. But I get why it has to be like that. It's just a shame. Well, you can say it doesn't add anything to the battle, but like Gas is saying, you know, I'm taking that. Or that's what you've got to do, right? You've got to condense. You've got to really trim the fat. And like I said, you've got to make everything quality. You might get a better battle out of it if it is condensed to a time limit.
I'll give you an example of this. Before I went to Don't Flop, I had that Scientology bar, but it was so long-winded. Like it was so long-winded, and I basically, when I knew I had the Don't Flop thing, for some reason I just stripped out all the bullshit, threw all the ends together, made the punch happen, and that's because the rounds that they gave me was 90-second rounds. I only had 90 seconds. I didn't have time to. So exactly what Gas Buff is saying is what you will get from learning how to do short rounds or whatever, innit? But then when you learn to do short rounds, you feel like, I want to do this, but more. So I've learned how to condense it now. Now I want to give you more of this condensed shit. You understand? And you crave longer rounds or whatever in it. So I think 230 is cool. You know what I mean? That's cool. It's all right. You know what I mean? It's just that when you write rounds, you'll be surprised at how quickly you've written 4 minutes worth of material.
Yeah.
And you haven't even got your finisher yet. And it's like, raw, what do I take out? You like everything. So it gets a bit mad. Like you might strip your whole material out, record it, and realize that it's 3:37. It's like, oh, fucking hell. I took out all the, you know what I'm saying? So it's a bit mad.
Buck Fast says Rivers versus Shotty, no time limit would be epic.
Oh my days, let's go.
Salute Road to a Mill Media. But yeah, I think we've talked the ends off the earth. We talked that battle sufficiently. What I will say is, I mean, we haven't even talked that battle. We've kind of talked about judging and points and all of that system. Go and watch the battle.
Please
go and watch the battle. Like I'll watch it live on Caffeine one of these weeks.
These man, check out all their other recent stuff as well. Like, because I feel like both of them have been very consistent in their last 3, 4, 5 battles, whatever. And like, I think Yunnan more his last 3, because I think
Bizzo's been consistent like literally the last 2 years. He has not put a foot wrong. Like he really hasn't. But yeah, totally lost my train of thought. Sorry, I looked at my tape measure and everything just went.
Is there a card that we need to chop up?
There is a card that we need to chop up. So the plug. I don't know how to get back to my shit. How do I get back? Hold on. Layers, not banners.
Shit, dog.
Oh, okay. Here we are. Okay, yes. We have what is turning out to be the most kind of highly anticipated event on the battle rap calendar right now. The Plug 3.
Is that next weekend?
That is next weekend, Saturday, 25th of February, Brixton Jam. Tickets are long sold out. If you do not have a ticket, do not go. You will not get in. Like it's gonna be tight.
No way.
Why you over there groaning? Do you not have a ticket?
Of course I got a ticket. What about dickhead? What do you think I'm gonna miss this? I got a ticket for this, baby.
If you are I want to say foolish. I'm going to say unfortunate. If you are unfortunate enough to not have a ticket for this, you are in luck, because Briggsy, the absolute legend that he is, will have these battles up on the Patreon. I want to say within 24 hours.
I say 48.
I'm gonna say that, but I feel like even 24. I can't remember the last time it took.
I think a shorty battle, we could be talking about 24 to 36 hours for a shorty battle.
I don't know that it took 24 to 36. Like I don't know if it took 36 the last.
Do you know
shorty
what?
battle.
I say this. They're not gonna stay in London and drink and all of that, so he'll probably get straight to work in it. So we could be looking at a 24-hour job.
Yeah, I feel like he's done that shit in London. Like, from the plot, but anyway, yes, within a very short space of time, take what's humanly possible and subtract 2. Briggsy will have the battles up on the Premier Battles Patreon. Go and subscribe, go and sign up to the Patreon, because it's so worth it. Countless Premier Battles are churning out the events. I don't know how many drops a month there are, but it's a significant number, and you get them a good couple weeks before they go on the YouTube, and it's a great way to support the league. So go sign up for the Patreon. I've lost where I was in the comments. Rivers versus Rivers versus Gem, no time limit, lyrical murder, says Wax.
That would be a bit crazy still.
No time limit, damn.
Who wants that?
I think people want that.
You think they want
I
that?
think people want
Let
that.
me know.
Time limits, no time limits, whatever. I think people just want that. River's bit about writing but not realizing how much you've got is facts. I don't think Yinan could have thrown out any content. It was all fire. It's hard to part ways with content. But when you've got rules and when you'll be penalized for it, you've got to. You've got to do that. You can't take that risk. Plug free, yeah? Oh, okay, in 2 weeks. Is that 2 weeks? I'm there agreeing with you, saying a week. Okay, it's 2 weeks. Thank you. Trub, what the hell date is it today? Sunday, 12th of Feb. Okay. 12th of Feb.
Oh.
Plug free is in a fortnight. Yes, thank you. Next weekend just had me shook. We had everyone
I was about to be outside Bricks and Jam by myself.
We probably could have sold out the Steel Yard. That's fire. That's fire. Yeah, it's been 24 hours, these last few events. Sometimes it's been like 12. Shotty Gem, Bobby, Lazy Matter, Sean Craig, Mr. Tongue Twister, Bosh. Last time Shotty Battle didn't it come out within hours? Or it didn't come out within hours? I feel like it did. Quill versus Viz 2. Me, I feel like that's Wax saying, I want Rivers versus
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay. Last time Shotty Battle, they had to decide which league got the footage first. That's a fact. There was, yeah, everyone wants that, says Bark Fast. Okay, but let's go back to
that card, please.
Okay, right, here we go. I don't like that. That's unwieldy. I've got to see if I can find a way of
cropping it up.
Yeah, and we've also got as of a couple of days ago, yesterday, this event, Bracy versus Kazuan was added. Kazuan was added to the already stacked lineup. So is this like, how many is this? 8 battles, 9 battles? So Sean Cray, we got Sean Cray in the chat as well. Salute Sean Cray versus LS Dean, Matter versus iKid, Lazy versus Raptor, Bobby Rex versus Frankie Fraser, Gemini versus Koj, Shotty Horror versus Shuffle T. Man, oh man. And these are team battles as well. I don't like why this screen is so small. Sorry for my tantrum. I'm sorry.
That was a real tantrum. You know that when you're waving hands as well. Fully throwing the toys out the pram right there.
Proper, because I can't
you
see
need
the
a full
shit.
Screen. I get it. I understand.
You see how small this shit is? We can't see it, man.
How many hours has it been?
I'm trying to. How many hours has what?
Has it been? Because remember, it's 2 hours, isn't it?
Oh yes, it's been 1 hour and 8.
Oh, okay.
I can't even see the damn teams matchups. I need to bring up the card. Yeah, sorry for my bratish behavior. And yeah, I don't like that. I can't just go from comments and thing. Keeping Bracy versus Kajuan will happen outside. Okay. Oof. How many battles says Wax? Yeah, that is a lot. London Gem versus a laptop round 1.
That battle is due to happen early, so that's due to happen inside.
Which battle?
Bracy versus Kajuan.
I think, is it going to happen afterwards?
Nah, that's going to be an opener.
I think it's when is it happening? It's outside.
Unless they move it to the next day.
No, Trubs literally said it's outside.
Ah.
It will happen outside. Is it afterwards? I imagine it's not going to be outside before. Where's?
Yeah, they better do that before. Cause I'm trying to balance real quick.
Yeah, because Trench's event is right after that. Sorry, I'm just trying to bring up the card here. Yeah, Kajuan, I need to find out how to say his name properly. Kajuan flies back to America in the morning. Oh, I didn't even realize it does that.
Does what?
I don't know that I love that. It's cool when it's the wiretap. Need to be so it will be done by 6 p.m. outside. Sean Craig. So it brings up, it gives you their name, the commenter's name, and their profile picture, as well as bringing up their comment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Those were Dub's predictions. Dub, you need to update your prediction once more to include Quill and visual. Imagine, Dub. So yeah, you got.
Start from the
You
bottom.
got. Hold on, I'm looking at So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different team battles as well.
Whoa.
So yeah, Sean Cray versus, oh no, exhibition battle. You've got Cooper versus Mr. Tongue Twister starting off. So I think that's the only battle that isn't part of the match day. Yeah, just an exhibition battle, and then Bracy versus Casuan as well. Hold on, let me. Now, I'm not super familiar with Mr. Tongue Twister, to be honest. I've only seen his battle with Quill, and that wasn't
Tongue Twister's old school. He's old school, man. He's from the Don't Flop era.
Which is why I'm not super familiar.
He's just I don't know if he's made a resurgence in the last year or something like that, but yeah, he's been on cards quite actively. It's on Prem, you know.
Yeah, I saw him battle. I saw him battle Quill. It was a cool battle.
He's funny. That's it. He's a funny guy.
And Cooper is also a funny guy.
This is why they've matched it.
Yeah, I know. I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see this Cooper. You know, he's been progressing as well nicely, so it'll be good to see him in London. But yeah, I don't know quite what to expect from this one. Casuan is going to have a long few days. That's a lot of traveling. Yeah, definitely. I can't just.
I need like a mini bus after this to take as much people as I can to the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Because it only makes sense for us to carry the vibe on.
Yeah, absolutely. Matter versus iKid. I haven't seen Matter battle actually in person, so this will be a first for me. Complete style clash.
Yeah.
Complete and utter style clash.
I don't know. What do you think of this battle? I can see iKid putting in work.
Yeah, I think I think everyone on this card, right? Plug has already established a reputation of a card that you want to be on, you want to be good on, you want to show out, you want to be talked about, you want to have your battle talked about because the cards thus far have generated back-to-back crazy battles. Like, you want to be part of that Plug energy, right? You want yours to be one of those memorable ones. And you're battling, like, you're on a card with Shotty, Gem, like Bobby Rex, Kojak. Like, it's shuffle, like it's a card people want to stand out on. Right? So yeah, exactly. So I think everyone on here, I'll be surprised if you see lackluster performances. I'd be very and this is a sold out event. Like, if you come and you're not prepared, you're not hungry, you're not ready, like there's a lot of people watching.
iKid is a man that I've seen make miracles happen on the way to battles.
Yeah.
Me and him have been on the motorway while he's putting his shit together. And he's gone in the battle and smoked it. And that was his strongest round. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah,
you understand?
yeah.
But he's ready, prepped up, ready to go already. So that just
okay, that's a great sign.
You get what I'm saying? And I feel like right now we're in a climate where no one's really playing with their blessings or playing with their gifts right now. Everybody's taking things.
iKid already has his 3 rounds. Okay, so there's Wiretap.
He's got his 3 rounds.
He's got his 3
Alright,
rounds.
confirmed.
That's what Wiretap says. More than 2 weeks out from the event. So yeah, real style clash. I think
No one wants to let down the plug, innit? That's really what it is.
Exactly. You want to come and you want to put on a show. Salute Cammy. That weekend will be a madness. Yeah, absolutely will. Because we've also got, you got Short Circuit as well the following day. You've got Trenches, plus you got Chrome 23 and the King of the Dot card in the States as well. There's a lot happening that weekend, man. The plug is at Madison Square Garden of UK battle scene now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. Where do I go back? Okay, here. So yeah, I've got iKid taking this in. He's in London. He's at home.
Oh, we're doing predictions, yeah?
Oh no, let's not do predictions actually.
Let's just big up both battlers.
Yeah.
Boost them up.
Yeah.
We'll do predictions.
And you'll see, this being a big, well, it's only 2 weeks, there's only 1 week. I guess we could do that next weekend. It would be good. I wanted to do some planning and have some of the guys on, so maybe we can do that next weekend actually. Have some of the people on the card on and see how they're feeling about it. But yeah, real style clash. You got Mata, consummate comedian, consistent, always, brings it.
Yeah, he's very observant as well. Angles that he picks.
Yeah.
He'll pick something funny.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
But I think the danger for him in this one is picking this type of angle other people have already picked for iKid. It'll get a bit stale.
And iKid in London. Yeah, we'll interesting style clash. Moving on now, we've got that was Inferno versus Wolfpack. But we've also got Venom versus Imperium, Lazy versus Raptor. What do you think about this one?
Listen, let me tell you about my brother Raptor, because I don't think you'll ever believe me.
Talk to me. Tell me, Rivers.
I've gone out to the Emerald Isle, and I've seen him shut it down in a way I've never seen before. And I got a lot of faith in the boy.
A lot of faith in the boy.
I got a lot of faith in the boy. He's very great. But let me tell you something about Lazy. Let me tell you something about Lazy Ass Jack. Lazy Ass Jack is from South London. Nothing more to be said.
South.
From South. Yeah? And that's all you need to know. Yeah. So that just means he knows what time it is when he knows what time it is.
Lazy was on the plug one as well, wasn't he?
He's from South. He's plugged in. What are you not getting it here? But it's never a battle that I saw coming, but it's one that I'm interested in seeing how it plays out. What happened?
We skipped over Sean Cray and Alice Sting.
We could talk about it.
I'm so sorry, Sean Cray.
We could talk about it right now.
Because the damn thing is so small on the bloody screen. I can't even see properly. But no, let's finish Raptor and Lazy. Or Raptor.
Yeah, I was basically saying, like, it's not a battle that I ever saw being put together, but now it has been put together. It's something I'm interested in seeing how it goes on. It is a style clash. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I can imagine Lazy being very kind of observant about my man's Irishness. I can imagine him talking about his Englishness. I can kind of see how this might play out.
Yeah,
still.
the conversation.
So,
yeah.
So I want to see this one here still.
Yeah.
Definitely. I love how Lazy does his thing, and Raptor's my guy. Raptor is my guy. I've always been watching how he does his thing anyway, from back when I met him in his hometown. You get me? I don't even know if it's his hometown, but
in his home country.
Yeah, you can't even assume everyone's from Dublin. You know what I mean?
So also on the Inferno versus Wolfpack segment of the card, we have Mr. Sean Cray versus LSD.
Oh, all right.
I had to give it some oomph because I skipped out on it.
Sean
yeah, Sean Cray. All right, Sean.
All right,
mate.
How you doing, Sean?
All right, mate. Nice to see you, mate. I ain't seen you for a minute.
Mr. Cray.
Mr. Cray.
Ronnie's brother.
Is
Ronnie original.
Sean, is this your Prem debut? Am I completely wrong about that?
I'm sure he's battled on Prem before.
Was it some time ago?
I'm sure
I
he's
swear I'm
done
probably
it.
must be putting my foot.
Has he been in the academy?
I don't know.
I feel like he has been in the academy still. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Let us know, Sean.
Oh, I was right. Yeah, Prem debut.
I'll say no more. My bad. Throwing you in with the academy bash.
Wax is getting his petty on. I say LS Dean because Cray is a Spurs fan. Hashtag petty wax. That's football will not come into it. But yeah, Prem debut on a blood card.
On a blood card.
There we go. Like that's we were talking about hunger, we were talking about motivation. Like that is some motivation right there, you know, getting to debut on a card with Shotty Horror headlining. I've seen, you know, Sean seems to be really kind of, or in from what I've seen, Sean is out to make, you know, to make an impact. He seems to be a little bit more outside than before. I don't know. Is this a?
I like Sean Cray.
I love Sean Cray.
I like Sean Cray still. I didn't have any, you know, I never saw much of Sean Cray stuff, but the more and more I see him, it's like the more I understand his the Sean Cray position in the situation. You understand? So I like what he does in it. I hope you.
No one's saying I love Sean Cray. I meant as just a general guy. He's lovely.
Oh, in general.
Yeah.
He's alright.
He's alright.
You alright?
Alright.
He's alright.
But I think it's crazy that I'm on this card. To be fair, I respect that. I'm quite lucky. I'm taking this really seriously. That's what's up for someone like, you know, saying is a humorist, taking this really seriously. Yeah, no, I'm interested to see what you bring to this and how, because LS Dean as well, you know, I think we haven't seen him so much, but
LS Dean battled the Indian dude the other day.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and LS Dean was in the paper in India. Man was in the paper in India. Yeah, because obviously the guy's big over there. So where they've talked about the guy flying over, they've put him and LS Dean in the front page of their paper. I don't know if it's the front page, but it's in the paper still. That's a big look.
No, that's dope. That's dope.
But LS Dean be flying out, going, doing things, coming back. Man, just the international. Don't worry about LS Dean.
Yeah.
Nah, he's good. You know what I mean? LS Dean is a veteran in this thing still. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I've had years of going to events. LS Dean, back when he even had hair, coming up to me, yo, Rivers, check this bar, blah, 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 blah. And he would say it with the full energy and aggression, like he's on the stage every time, because he means it. You understand? So for me to see how he's developed his style, where he is, because you gotta remember, LS Dean is one of the only people that can say that they battled that Gift of the Gab. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's a few people that get to say that. LS Dean's one of them. You know what I'm saying? Even what's my man? Crafty's another one of them. He don't get to say about Rivers, but gets to say he went to Gift of the Gab. You know what I mean? And did his thing on the stage, got his love as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, them man there, I've seen. I look at him like he's a veteran in this thing, innit? Regardless of how anyone sees him, what opponent they give him, he's a vet.
Hey, Young Crumpet, salute. Crafty battled Skeptical.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that. Okay, moving on now. We have Pride versus Glory Gang. Bobby Rex versus Frankie Frazier. Oof.
I feel like I know how this is gonna go.
Mm.
I feel like I know how this is gonna go. I think Bobby can use his aggression and dominant presence to do a lot for him. To do a lot for him in this battle. I feel like if Frankie could tap into maybe some emo, maybe pinch yourself before it happens, or I don't know, but if you can
stub your toe,
yeah, and you can draw that out at some point, then you can show man, right, like I'm a man too, kind of thing. But I feel like Frankie's writing is just so out of this world that he just takes you to where he is in it more time. So you could do all of that, but once Frankie's in his groove, like we want to hear what he's gonna say next. We want to hear where it's coming from. We want to hear what he's bringing to the table.
Another big style clash.
Yeah, 100%. But Bobby's capable of getting lyrical and breaking things down and all that. He's capable too. You know what I mean? But I feel like his primary style is more Bobby fucking Rex.
I think as well, regardless of what sort of material he's doing, you're getting intensity, you're getting that energy, you're getting that, like that's just Bobby, like that, that energy, man, that aggression and
he's
ferocity.
had some big battles recently, you know what I'm saying, where he's not going into this battle probably looking at it like it's a super big challenge in terms of presence-wise. He knows it's one of the biggest challenges he's going to have pen-wise, but he's got a lot of confidence in his pen, regardless. You know what I'm saying? And same with Frankie. He's got a lot of confidence. He knows what his shit got him flued out. So he knows his pen has that value in it. So I see him add a few elements of fuck you to his material. I think that will help him in this battle. You know what I mean? Doesn't even have to be much. It's just that even if you have the in-between bits, like you fucking prick.
Yeah, that's it. Just like the ad-libs.
It's crazy I'm saying this and people will listen and think, oh, you're chatting shit, man. But
no,
this
so
is
effective.
Gonna fucking help you.
So effective.
Like, it's gonna sell you a bit differently than if you're just being cool. Like I want you to have that type of shit because Bobby's definitely gonna have that. He's built with that. He's born with that. Bobby fucking Rex. So but this is gonna be a bit again. Bobby Rex is another one that's racking up classics as well. Frankie too. You know what I mean?
Right, Tap is putting up the glory. No, what's that? That's Eagles. Glory. The Glory Eagles, right?
Bird Gang. Bird Gang, baby.
Frankie's coming off a great performance too. That's a fact.
Facts.
You'd say the same with Bobby. This all depends on Frankie's delivery. If he gets put off Bobby's aggression, he could lose, or gets put off by Bobby's aggression. Bobby been talking heavy lately. I can't wait to see this.
It's a big challenge for both guys for different reasons, isn't it? It's a big style clash. You know what I'm saying? I love these type of battles because it reminds me of like Street Fighter when it's like can Blanca's electric shock beat Dhalsim stretch? You know what I'm saying? Can M. Bison's fucking magic hands beat Ryu's fireball kind of thing? Like we can get Ryu versus Ken, that's cool. You know what I mean? Whole bunch of Hadoukens. But when we got two completely different characters altogether, styles, that's when we see whose abilities can affect the battle more than the other person's abilities.
And sometimes, like as well, who's better on the day? Who's more effective on the day?
That's
like,
it. Any given Sunday, bro.
You might have had all the ingredients to win,
100%.
but when he did that shit and you let him throw you off, it was all downhill from there.
Or maybe he didn't even throw you off, but the room don't want what you got no more because of what he just gave.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He changed the flavor,
and you can't get the crowd back.
Nope.
Yeah.
No matter what you do. Now everything you try is making you look worse. You know what I'm saying? But good luck, guys. Don't mind me. I'm just an analyst right now.
No, but these are all the things that goes into a battle, you know. And you can. So much depends on the day. Sometimes, why as well. Sometimes it's really hard to predict battles. Not only because you can look at the styles, you can look at kind of what the battler, what their skill set is, what they're likely to do, how they're likely to attack each other, what they've got to say, what angles they've got to use material. But on the day, like
someone's just wigging on that day.
That's it, yeah. Or just one thing can throw you off. Like you can,
You just can't. It's just like energy is unpredictable. You can't predict how the energy is gonna go. You never can predict. One thing changes.
Bobby seemed calm and ready on match day one. That's nice to see. Have you guys covered the King of the Dot announcements? I want to see Rivers' predictions on them. Maybe we can do that next week. A lot of style clashes on this card. Yeah, definitely. Bobby sparring with Kojay and Shotty as well. His confidence is going to be through the roof.
100%.
That's the thing with this card. It's like an all-star lineup, but the battles all do make sense and are hard to call.
Bro,
Sometimes you throw all the stars in and they don't marry up. Yeah, that's true.
That's very true. But all the plug cards are star-studded.
And with great matchups, and they've all so far, all three so far have looked great on paper. And yeah, like you said, delivered classics, delivered rounds of the year, battles of the year, contenders for that, like delivered some of the best events or best battles, best clashes of last year.
I'd even go as far as to say anyone that's in the running for Battle of the Year will have had a marquee performance at a plug event.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it is right now.
That's it. Next up, we have the Knights versus Pride. Gemini versus Kojay. Could be a headline. Well, the top three could be a headliner on any
Good
card.
night, sweetheart, and it's time to go. I won't go that far, but you know, Gemini's the favorite. You know, there's no two ways about that. Kojay's ready. He's prepped up. He's got his stuff already ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Gemini's getting his shit together.
Which is the fact that Kojay is prepped up, ready. You know, that's different. That shows kind of.
It's different, but levels are levels at the end of the day. So, you know, if your little niece says, "All right, I'm gonna prep myself up for an arm wrestle for you," you understand? It doesn't matter. You can sit and eat donuts if you want to, right? Because you know there's just a level you're not at yet, and so you might have to do a bit of growth or whatever. So, I feel like that's the position that Kojay's in. He's gonna have to do something different, different and good. Don't just do the same old shit. Because regular Kojay, I could be more critical of the older guys in this thing, innit? I won't be so critical of the others. But Kojay, the impression is first round's gonna be fire, and then it's just gonna. That's the impression.
Don't forget Quill versus Visual. Where is that on the card?
It's not on the card though. We must have an old card.
Have I got an old card? Is that what I've been sharing?
Possibly because I don't know if that's Sunday, but I don't think I saw that. Well, we can get to that. Thanks. Who reminded us?
Wiretap, but someone put it in the thing earlier as well.
Okay.
And I just assumed it was on there. Yeah, I don't have a card with it on. Do you guys not have a card with it on? I sent it to you on WhatsApp. Okay. Probably too late to send you this version, but I don't.
Is that the one with the?
Yeah, it's the one with whatever we just said.
Viz and Quill.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go back to that one. I saw Kojay. So both of them battled on the plug before. Both of them, this will be their second time, right? For both of them. Kojay got busy on his first showing. Like that visual battle is serious. And I get, you know, it's not
arc.
Yeah, or visual isn't Gemini. That's what I was trying to say. I guess, you know, it's a different level of, you've got visual, who's the up and coming kind of rising star, whereas your battle Gemini, who's, you know, one of the biggest we've had. Did I not send the fucking thing? The biggest we've had in his scene, but you know, I've seen him put on in London. I'm sure he knows the magnitude of the opponent that he's got in front of him.
Kojay is fire still, and I don't give a fuck if no one don't like me saying it. Kojay is fire. Understand? But Kojay still hasn't bucked that same trend that we've seen.
You mean inconsistencies?
No, it's not even that. It's If I get a big name, I lose. If I get a name that's lower than my name, I win.
Okay.
Understand? We're not even talking about you having a debatable with certain man. We're talking about you're losing clear to all of them. You know what I'm saying? Here's what it is though.
I mean, Gemini, I feel like he's still got something to prove. I don't think.
Oh yeah, 100. We can get onto Gemini.
Yeah, because
We can get onto Gemini. It's not just about Koji here. Like Gemini took his foot off the accelerator against Bobby, and we saw that.
Yeah, and didn't come with, you know, he kind of was able to
cruise,
finesse the third with the Bagnall tribute.
It wasn't
and
a finesse, like you clearly lost that round.
Well, yeah, like I'm saying, he was able to have material,
yeah.
like
So
his material
finessed,
came
not
from,
choking,
yeah.
That was a giveaway though. You understand? So is the door open for Koji to steal around? And if there is a door open for it to steal around, does that mean if Koji has 2 rounds as good as his first, he can win? That's the question we have to ask. You know what I'm saying? But I just think battle, we talk about battle technicality and put together for being the battle rapper. I think Gemini has it more than Koji does. You know what I'm saying? So based on that, I would more lean towards Gemini. Both of them are their best. I'm gonna lean towards Gemini. You know what I'm saying? But I do think Koji will come. Like it's Gemini. You have to come fire. You have to have something.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Understand?
I think
this might be the one where he doesn't drop the ball in terms of battling someone of a certain caliber and not just cruising and letting them do what they want. This could be the one still.
I feel like the fact Shotty is on the card adds an extra motivation for Gemini.
Yeah, 100%. I'd definitely say that because you know they want Shotty to see them at their best. They want Shotty to see them in the same moment.
Well, not only
like
that.
Back to Manchester as the group, like, yo, bro, like we went to London, we killed these guys, we killed it, rare.
But also because at some, you know, that was a battle that was.
Oh shit! Is this London versus Manchester? Look, let me just see that card again.
Hold on.
Oh, I counted 3 London versus Manchester battles.
So add it to the fucking screen. I hate this shit.
You're gonna get StreamYard back.
Okay, I've got to do it in the middle. Why does it seem even smaller now? Oh, because I'm not gonna get. It's just got to get used to it. This is a better system, but it's just new stuff. It's so annoying.
It's a different way put together.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I thought the matter was from Manchester.
It's north or south, I guess.
Who's Ellisteen battling? Ellisteen versus Cray.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. It's why I was saying Shotty wasn't just because you want to have a good performance of Shotty in the car, but because that battle has been so kind of Shotty's on the back burner now. It's not really kind of, but at one point it was so, you know, it was on the cards. The two were calling out each other, sending shots for each other, whatever. So he's gonna want to have an impressive performance, I would imagine, on, you know, it adds a little bit more, I would think. The thing about Kojay, even if it comes to any rapper that's not in his class, he will never let a rapper that's not in his class defeat him. Okay, I guess that's what
pretty much.
Rivers was saying. Nobody can predict Kojay to win this. It's on him to show a level of stamina that he hasn't shown for a while. We need to know. We know how high his level is. We need to see him show he can hang for 3 rounds.
Yes. That's it.
Good comment, Sean Cray. There was a lot of this UKBR is dead talk. Now seeing all this 2 years later about UKBR being its best ever, it's refreshing to see. It really is. Yeah, I love how much, how much is going on right now. He was, but one battle in Manny means that you can't confidently predict he'll bring that level to this battle. Because back in the day, Koj beat Shocks, Quill, and was actually player of season 2, I swear. Shock was way before, of course,
Yeah,
but on
no,
the season he built Quill and was beating Raptor.
He was player of the
Raptor.
season 1 year. Still, he had 1 L to Joker Star, but everything else he cleaned up. I can't remember what year it was. It might have been the same year. Yeah, my first year.
Gemini lost a round. Clearly, that's not going to be the first round he's ever lost. He'll be looking to get that 30 train back on track. Shuffle isn't from London. He's from Reading.
He's from South, and
Yeah.
they're from North. So we're claiming him, okay? Just like we're claiming Sean.
Yeah, we
Gray.
had this conversation about Shuffle the other day. We tried to kind of claim him in London, sort of. Sean versus Dean, Bobby versus Frankie, and Jem versus Claudia, London Manny. Sean isn't from London. I'm from King's Cross, mate. I've just moved. Sean is from London, but he moved to Shrewsbury. He's in King's Cross now, mate.
That's right, mate. Just moved, mate.
It's north, mate.
What?
He's in North London now. Right, let's go. So we've also got, yes.
Miserable. Bill versus Quiz.
Don't.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Quill versus Visual.
Took it so slow.
Sold out. I had to because there was no way I was gonna get it right. Quill versus Visual. Oh, yeah. Glad to see Quill active from early on the year. Glad to see him, involved in this match day. I think he definitely needs to be more outside this year, getting in these battles.
He's definitely going to put work in to make sure that he is this year, because I think, how the Battle of the Year went. Quill's a man, he likes the accolade or two. You know what I'm saying? Got a little ego in there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like not being able to be part of the conversation pissed him off the same way it pissed me off. I'm just holding it down better. But I feel like Quill wants to make an impression, and when there's a conversation, he doesn't want no questions about whether he's in the conversation or not. So yeah, he's gonna definitely be outside this year.
Definitely.
Don't be surprised if there's a few other names that you see being active this year, trying to stake their claim as well. You know what I mean, a lot to fight for now.
I think this is another great opponent for Visual. Is another name on his resume. Got a great name on his resume. He's back on the plug. He had a great start there in London. Like he's I think this is a test for him. Quill's a great writer and performer. He's at home. He's gonna wanna take a win for his team on this. And like we kind of haven't even talked about the team down there. It's points, like it's judged. You want to win, like
you need that.
It's not even just who we think wins, who entertains the crowd, who gets it on cam or in the room, whatever. Like no,
don't matter.
Judged, it's judged. You have to win on the day. You have to impress. You have to impress the judges. So yeah, this is gonna be a tough one for Vil. This is gonna be a tough one for Vil. Have you talked about Whispers going on iBattle? No, not at all yet. Salute to him, shout out, that's super dope. I just saw it actually on Instagram. But yeah, we're doing kind of just doing plug. I'm claiming Viz versus Quill as Northern Ireland versus South matchup.
No more.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland technically belong to the game. You know what? We're not even gonna get into any of that.
You better not. Like,
none of that. It was a joke that went left, and
yeah.
I get back right. Sorry,
get right.
Sorry,
get right. Let's not do that. But yeah, another crazy matchup. This is gonna be tight as well, man. Get your pre-rolls in. Get your pre-rolls.
I like. You see, like
with your pre-rolls.
The Viz and Quill battle to me is like another chapter in the Viz versus Moog Saga. It's like, okay, so you got Quill, now I got Quill. Now let's see who does better with Quill. You understand? And then eventually they're gonna bump heads at some point. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's how I see it in my own little battle rap narrative, man.
Right, have we? Just make sure we haven't missed out anyone on the card. Are we at the headliner?
I think we're at the headliner.
We've done Cooper versus Mr. Tongue Twister, Sean Cray versus LSD, Matter versus iKid, Lazy versus Raptor, Quill versus Visual, Bobby Rex versus Frankie Fraser, Gemini versus Koj, and we are now at the headline of the Plug 3. We have Shotty Horror
Big Shotty
versus Shuffle T.
Shuffle.
What a headliner. What an epic battle.
This may be one of the trickiest battles I've ever seen this guy Shotty Horror take. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, this guy has taken tricky battles before. You know, he's taken high aggressive guys that don't give a fuck, that might say anything. He's gone to people's towns and battled unorthodox type people, rare, boom, 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 boom. But this one here, you basically picked someone who is the most skilled at a style that only he has. Like, it's and the thing about it is that people kind of, nobody forgets that Shotty Horror has a humorous side.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever forget that because we've seen him use it to great effect.
Does humor very well, yeah.
So this is it's like, Shotty has so many different approaches and different strategies and tactics. It's going to be crazy to see what he does, but then Shuffle is the same. This is going to be a tactical battle. It's going to be interesting to see the approaches that each guy take in each round. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Shotty battles, this is one of the only or the few people that when he battles, like Tony D as well, I'm just there to see. Like, cool. Like, no disrespect to the other battlers or whatever, but when Shotty and certain man are battling, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, these men are so good. Let me see what idea they came up with, because I know it's going to be different.
How did you approach this? Yeah, where did your creativity take you?
Some people come up with ideas, and I can literally sit there and say, okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Or I would have did that. Or I could have predicted that. But these man, your Shuffle T's, your Shotties, and that, they really will come up with different way. Like, they could
real
even
out in the box shit.
Yeah, they could even take the same idea you have, but their approach to that idea will be something totally different. They'll go somewhere else with it. So it's always interesting in me to watch. But these men are both strategic. So I'm gonna, just in terms of angle selection, approach selection, it's gonna be very interesting for me to see what kind of ways they both go in it. Shotty could go a bunch of different ways. Shuffle could go a bunch of different ways, but we kind of know that there's certain ways Shuffle won't go in it. Whereas Shotty is a bit more, I feel like his range of approach is more wider than Shuffle's range of approach. But I feel like Shuffle's depth of approach might be a bit more deeper than Shotty's depth. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's one of those battles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an analyst in the terms of lyrical side of shit, so I'm gonna have fun breaking this down, innit? Literally, seeing how they did it.
Are we coming up to half time on the Super Bowl or on the Rihanna concert? Is the Rihanna concert about to start? I think it might be.
Oh yeah.
If it is, oh no, they're still on the field. Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Crumpet is agreeing with you, saying Shuffle is the most dangerous opponent Shotty's ever battled. Yeah, it is. I think it really is going to be like, strategy will really be so important on this. Where did you take it? I agree. Sean Cray says, this is Shotty's return for me. Coming and battling a proper UK guy in London, in Manny or wherever else is one thing, but this is something else.
Yeah, he's battling someone who's very, very capable of putting on a high quality performance. No disrespect to Tally, but I feel like Shuffle.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant there, Sean.
No.
Like, do you mean like the Tally battle wasn't his return, or do you mean return to London?
Well, I was more meaning that, you see that Tally, I more put Shuffle in a more international class than Tally. Like there's a whole way that Tally can speak that Shuffle will never be able to speak. That's a given, and Tally raps within that way. So Shuffle could never be on Tally's level anyway in that respect. You know what I'm saying? The most he could do is try and mock it in some funny kind of way. But what I'm saying is, when we talk about technicality and approach and wit and meshing it all together and multi-syllabics and all of these types of things that Shuffle has learned and can do, he's of a high stature and a high level, which I feel like Shotty hasn't had from over here for a minute. I mean, this is probably one of the first that he's going to have someone that's very capable, you know, like of a soul type of caliber, where it's like soul caliber, of a soul type of level, where it's like, this guy can really damage you. Like he's not going to be shit, whatever he says.
Yeah.
Like, you know that, right?
And he's also a big fan favorite, a big showman. He's got other intangibles.
Like he doesn't have to do all what you have to do for the reaction.
Like he said, he does his own thing, and he's the best. Yeah.
He's like Doctor Strange.
Very difficult.
How do you beat Doctor Strange?
Yeah, this will be a chess game of a battle. It really all depends on how they structure their rounds and which angle they take, which round, in my opinion. But I think Shuffle may take it.
I feel like he's.
I'm meaning that Shotty wasn't the guy people. I'm meaning that Tally wasn't the guy people wanted Shotty to come back and battle.
Yeah.
It was relatively risk free. This one is dangerous. Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, man, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. It's a great headline. It's a great headline. I'm here for it, man. I can't wait. Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks time. This is normally the bit where I say get your tickets. You're crazy if you miss out, blah blah blah. You've lost the chance to get a ticket. So all you can do now is, well, no, you don't have to. Well, you have to wait a little bit longer, and you don't get to be in the building. But if you subscribe to the Patreon, you will be one of the first outside of the building to be able to check these battles out. And it really is a card of great clashes. Yeah, we got North and South in there. We've got style clashes. We've got era clashes. We've got the season. So it's match days. It's points. Like it's more than just you. You've got to win for. Like you've got to win for your team.
Loki got an international battle. We've got a couple internationals.
Yes. I missed that. Chubb said as well.
Bracy versus Kajuan.
Yeah. I can't talk much about that because I haven't seen Kajuan at all. I'm totally unfamiliar.
Do you know what it is about Kajuan? Yeah, I can say this here. I can't say I've seen much of Kajuan, but his name is so familiar to me, and I don't know why. And I think it's because he markets himself. He posts a lot of videos. I think he posts a lot of clips. He's doing something where I'm aware of his name, but I just haven't seen him or know who he is. Like his name pops up a lot. I don't know if he's been on Trap New York. I don't know if I've seen him. I don't know, but his name Kajuan NY. Yeah, man, seen that. He's been about.
Well, yeah. I mean, we will come back and recap it all, obviously. But for now, yeah, and we'll do, like I said, we'll try and get some of the guys on next weekend. See where they're at. See what they're thinking. But yeah, we are gonna wrap up for now. It is midnight, dead on. And yeah, we've got a 2-hour cut out on this thing. Until
what are we looking at? 150.
It's 1:53 right now.
Time.
So yeah, and also like I said, I can't miss the Rihanna concert. So yeah, thank you for everyone who has tuned in. Rivers, are you coming to All the Smoke?
What's All the Smoke?
It's Premier Battle event. I'm not sure which.
I thought it was the plug.
No, that's which one is All the Smoke? Is that next weekend? Is there an event next weekend? When is all there's too many events right now for me to know events by their name.
Is All the Smoke happening in Manny?
I feel like it's not even Raptor versus Koj. Oh.
What?
No, that's after, isn't it?
Oh, hold yeah, on. Possibly. I don't know. More than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely.
And Crumpet versus Cobra.
Let's go. Cobra.
Yeah, good luck. Hope you're ready, prepped. Anyone who's watching, you know, get that prepping. This is going to be one of them ones. Cannot wait to see it. Looking forward to seeing everyone in the building. It's always super dope to kind of meet people who support the channel for the first time. It's always dope. So yeah, looking forward to it and looking forward to these crazy battles. I cannot wait. So yeah, anything you want to leave the people with, Rivs?
I don't know, man. Keep going, everybody. You're doing well, you know. It's hard out here sometimes, but you just gotta just keep persevering